connect with them and like relate to their experiences and their emotions in any sort of way?
Well, yes is the answer. And I still will purposely go out to a group or to a prison to remember. Because here's what you have to remember if you're doing this work. There's two categories. There are some who are high criminal thinkers, almost to the point of psychopathy, and they are not studying about changing. So the way you interact and engage with that group, which is by far the smaller percent, versus how you engage with people who are just dysfunctional, addicted, have trauma in their life, they want to do better, they don't have the skills to do better. So our programming is all around teaching those skills, and it really works. It really does make a difference, but it has to be a sustained effort, and it has to be effective and evidence-based and all that. That's the group I like to interact with the most, because those are people who, I'm not denying that they've done some serious harm in some of their crimes, but because to get to prison you have to have done some pretty serious criminal behavior. But they are not vicious, and they lack a lot of hope, and they don't understand how to socially engage, and they don't understand how to problem solve. They don't know how to get themselves out of the spot they're in. So when you go in and deliver that kind of help, they respond to it so well that you feel like you're actually making a difference with people. Mm-hmm. So I like to see that, and I like to engage in that way. So when I was a parole officer, I quickly realized we didn't have the science that we have now 30 years later. But I quickly realized the difference between the ones I just needed to help versus the ones I needed to watch real closely, and be very, very careful how I interacted with them. Like there was this one guy, he was a multiple power rapist, and he would use a lot of violence in the rape. He had compacted here from Texas. Hated women, just exuded it. And all he ever wanted to talk about in our office meetings was when I was going to come to his apartment. And of course I just avoided the question, and the answer was the day after hell freezes over is when I'm walking and you just give me your utility bill so I know you live there, we're good, right? Versus, here's another example. This young guy had gone in for drugs, fairly low risk, traumatized him terrible that he ended up in prison, had a wife and a little kid. I went out to do a job check, and it was a small machine shop, and I immediately realized this is creating a problem for him. Because, you know, there's only 10 people working there, and because he says, can we go outside? So I said, I'm sorry about this. I'm not going to come back out here. You just bring your paycheck, and I'll record it in the record. That was just a person who needed some help, and he quickly course corrected and did well. He ended up doing real well. So, you know, they're just human beings. They're your neighbor. Oh, look, 1 in 100 people in this country end up in that criminal justice system. No, there's no one hardly untouched by it anymore. So I just like to help him if I can help him. And then, you know, be careful with the dangerous ones.